We had a chance when I think it was 28, whatever the score was, we were down. And Brian Lewerke comes in the huddle and it's sort of tight and crunch time, and he says, "This is fun." And so I was just looking, I sort of just looked at him. But he played outstanding. He made all the plays that you need to make in a football game, you know, from the onset. 2 big drives in the 2-minute situations, one at the end of the first half, make it 21, I think 14, and then one at the end of the game to bring us down to the opportunity for the field goal. So I thought credit Indiana, they did an outstanding job, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Penix was on fire there and played extremely well, and you know, Walt Filer, 14 catches, 142 yards. So you know, they were making plays and the ball was on the money and they were making catches. So we'll rise up again. But I'm just so excited for our football team to handle adversity, come back in the fourth quarter and have to play a little bit from behind there, and you know, didn't bat an eyelash. Huge sack, I think it was by Raekwon Williams, and a big punt return by Brandon Sowers. Puts the ball down there, and then I believe, I can't remember everything what happened, but I believe we kicked a field goal to go up by 7.
That's a touchdown to Cyber. That
Oh,
drive.
touchdown to Cyber. Thank you. So it's all sort of running together. I want to congratulate Lorenzo White again with his selection in the College Football Hall of Fame, and his name being put up on the stadium in the Ring of Honor. And he's a tremendous player. He's been extremely supportive throughout his time here. And he's a great person, not a young man, but he's a great person, and he's a strong influence around this country. And I'll just take some questions. We'll go from there.
Mark, you're a defensive coach, but how much of a weight off the shoulders is it to come in and thank the offense for this time bailing out the defense?
Yeah, that was, you know, they sort of out-formation just, I felt. They did formations that put us on the edge and put us out of maybe, and then they had a lot of bubble passes, and, you know, we're going to see those things, so we'll have to work on those things, miss some tackles, but they did a great job. The offense, as you said, you know, just really bailed the defense out. I don't think we've had a game like that defensively in a while, but usually if they score less than 20, we win, and if we score more than 30, we win. So that's sort of, you know, hung in there. That statistic sort of hung in there. That's over 13 years. So, but as I said, you know, great, you know, Cody White, Darrell Stewart, big catches. C.J. Hayes, big catches. Cyber, big catches. Great performance by Lewerke. I thought 24. Elijah Collins ran the ball well. Had a couple where he almost busted out, big yardage, but he was solid. And we'll take it. So we're 4-1, going to the next thing.
Coach, when Brian said this is fun, did you agree with him?
You know what?
Did you agree with him?
Oh no. I sort of looked at him. I didn't say a word though. If he was feeling it, that was good. You know, so he had a hot hand. There's no question. He played outstanding. I mean, the ball was coming out. The ball was on target. They defended some balls. We had a couple drops. The ball was on target for, I would say, 95%. The only one I can think of really that wasn't was maybe a little high on the one where we had Anthony Williams in the flat. So, big kick by Matt Coughlin at the end of the game, and two big kicks by him. One for the win, and the kick prior to that put us up by 44 yards.
Mark, a little housekeeping first of all. The reports of Brandon Boyer Randall in the transfer portal. Can you comment on that, and as well as Connor Hayward and Weston Bridges' status?
Yeah, got a good eye. Okay, but you know, Brandon's got into the portal, and you know, it's going to happen in this day and age. These things are going to happen, and I just try and be understanding with people and allow them for them to make their best decisions that they need to make. And I'm not going to hold anybody, you know, hostage or anything like that. People want to play a little bit more. They think they have more of an opportunity another place, then you know, sometimes they have to make those decisions. You know, it's unfortunate they didn't want him to do that, but you know, this is life in 2019. Connor missed the game for personal reasons, and then Weston, you know, has got a, you know, sort of a T rules type thing, minor thing, but had to be off the sideline for this game. Just to be consistent.
And with Darius right now, where's his role right now in this offense? He had a couple big key pass blocks there on one of those drives.
Ladarius knows what to do, the pass protection probably as well as anybody. He's firm, he's tough. He can also run the ball and catch the football. So we're gonna always play the hot back. I don't care who it is, but it's tough to play 3 and 4. We're gonna play the hot back. And so he'll have his opportunities and, he wanted to play. So, this was on the red shirt thing and all that kind of stuff because it's about 4 games, but talked to him numerous times and he decided that he wanted to play and so we played. So he'll continue to play on.
Mark, with about 90 seconds left in the game, Lewerke had that big run.
Sure.
He said he was aware of the moment and aware of the situation and kind of decided not to score. When you see your players making those type of plays, those selfless plays, how do you that works?
Yeah, I thought he was tackled, but we'll go with what he's saying. He's hot. But I think that it was the right thing to do, and then we just wanted to kick the field goal at the end of the game. We didn't want to score to allow them any time on the clock. That's the way we were going to play it. And everything gets a little tight at the end there with 1 second to go on the clock. Got to call timeout. Didn't really think he'd run over. We run a quarterback sneak and get it a little bit closer, maybe try and score with 5 seconds to go. But these are things that you have to go through sometimes to make sure that you're on top. That you're doing it exactly the right way. But I thought we played it the right way in this situation.
Mark, you always talk about how when you're successful, your seniors have to have their best years. Darryl Stewart just is becoming that consistent guy each and every week. Can you just talk about the way he's, not even just today, but every week so far for him?
Yeah, you really look across the board on our football team right now, and I know that we weren't, we're a little off on defense this game, but if you look at Kenny Willekes and look at Archie last week, and you look at David Dow, Brian Lewerke, what he's doing, and Darryl Stewart certainly what he's doing, they're having their best year as a senior. I think Tyler Higbee may be in that boat as well. When those things start to happen, it gives you a chance, and I think that's what has to happen from a leadership standpoint, and also from a physical standpoint. You got a chance to make plays. You got to make the plays because you're in a position of, you're in a starting position of leadership.
Mark Dantonio here. We saw it against Arizona State late, or whenever that was, or for the game-winning, would have been the game-winning field goal. We saw it last week late in the first half against Northwestern with the 2-minute drive, and then again today. I guess what is it giving this? What do you see as the group and ability to perform in that situation?
In the 2-minute?
Yes.
Well, we work on it a lot, and I think experience does that. When you're a senior and you've played in as many games as he has, he understands the situation of the game, and he understands his players, he understands the concepts that are used, and he's able to operate in that context and be successful. And you've seen that. I think we've seen that over and over this year so far. And we're going to do those type of things as we go. We've got a tremendous challenge ahead of us next week, but hey, we're 4-1 as we ride into Columbus, so that's exciting. 2-0 in the conference.
Mark, there were obviously towards the end of the game a couple of pass interference penalties. It seemed like the secondary struggled to defend some of those bubble routes also. So I guess what did you see from the corners on the penalties, and then also just sort of in general?
Well, on the one, I thought it was an iffy call, but we'll watch the film and figure it out from there. I've learned one thing: I can get myself all upset on the sideline with a bad call, but there's never been one time the guy says, "You know what, Coach, you were right. Let me pick that flag up for you." And they've never done that. So I'm just trying to keep my composure and allow them to do their job to the best of their abilities, and keep playing and keep trying to be positive, although I did come unglued on one. But it's tough out there. The ball's being thrown. You play with the ball, your back to the ball. You got to play the guy, your hands through the reception area. And there's a timing issue at times, and it's extremely difficult. So the bottom line is you can't let people get on top of you, but part of the past year. But it's a timing thing, and sometimes we get it out, sometimes we don't. Sometimes there's interference, and you see that across the board in college football right now, I think. And it's a very, and admittedly by the officials, probably the toughest thing to call in college football right now is with consistency, is PI, with consistency, because it's tough, and I recognize that.
Chris with the last one there.
Is there a rule for a quarterback not to throw a jump pass like that? Usually point guards aren't allowed to leave their feet to throw a pass. I mean, is that something you try to like avoid with a quarterback?
I don't think he does it too often. When did he do that? On the throwback to the tight end?
The one to Stewart there at the end on the rollout.
Oh. I don't know, you know, things are going so fast, I'm a result-oriented person at this point today. So we'll look at it like that and say, hey, great play, and, you know, I just thought he played outstanding, and there's a lot of other people played very well, and it was a team win. There's such, you know, all of a sudden, the fourth quarter, we sort of caught fire, I felt, as emotionally, and, you know, you could tell them, hey, they're coming for that brass platoon, they're coming for it now. You know, you don't understand that. It's just a symbol, it's just a brass platoon, it was the 60th year of it. It's just a symbol, but if they would have won that football game, you would have seen them flying over for it. So it's important that we won it, and we didn't allow ourselves to take another step forward. And that's what this is all about. Just, we're in that phase 3, 2 games in, we're 2-0, take another step forward. Okay, we got a big one next week, but it'll be exciting, and to get involved with that one.
And real quick, going back to Coghlan there at the end, can you kind of walk through that decision rather than trying to punch it in for a touchdown?
Yeah, I just felt like didn't really want to give them any time on the clock, the way that they've been throwing the ball down the field and things have been happening, and you know, should be able to make the kick. The execution, I have complete faith in our snapper and then our holder and in him. I felt like that was probably a 98% chance deal. And you know, if we would have scored a touchdown, we'd have lined up and played defense. But as it was, I felt like that was the thing to do. Thanks so much. I also want to thank, publicly thank everybody for staying after the game, and Coach Izzo, and Bill Beekman, and everybody who made that happen. Still humble here to be the head coach of Michigan State.